This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.
And wouldn't it be great if you could just take a pen, magic marker, pencil, whatever, and just draw the life you want? Just this is the way I'm envisioning it. This is what I feel I deserve. There's that. I'm going to sketch that all out there, and then it becomes your reality. Many say you can do that.
That is true.
How do we do that? We're going to find out from somebody that helps people move their lives forward all the time. She uses many different modalities, from acupuncture to massage, all different types, by the way. Coaches you to a beautiful outcome. I've learned so much ever since we've gotten together. She's the founder of Path to Wellness, and she's Teresa Wilkinson. Oh, by the way, she's got a heavy medical background as well. So great to have her with us. How are you doing today?
I'm doing fantastic.
So
How about you?
I'm good. I'm
Okay.
wondering the direction we're going to go into, and it almost seems a little bit like manifesting what you want. Would
That's
I be?
correct.
Oh, that's where we're going. Okay. So it really is. I mean, I hear this all the time. And by the way, I do practice manifesting. I get results, but not the major results I'd like to get. There are reasons for that, I'm sure, which we can talk about. Your thoughts on manifestation? Let's hear.
Well, sometimes it takes time, and then sometimes you can do it in 10 minutes. So, we're on a planet with time and space, and so we have to understand that sometimes some manifestations take longer than others. But if we keep making that attempt, then we will never fail. We will keep on the success route. So we have to keep trying and working towards it.
So let's start with baby steps. And this is how I know this works. I will manifest a perfect parking space in a very crowded area where you're not going to get a space. It's just you go into a village, town, packed. It's pretty reasonable to think, on a summer afternoon, people, families, everybody out, you're not going to find it. I do it all the time. And I'm going to say about 90% of the time, that parking space, the
Is
best
there
one,
for you?
sitting there waiting. And how do I know that this really does work aside from that? All the times that I don't do it, there's no space. I'm driving through the lots. I'm like, oh, I should have manifested a space.
Okay. So what's your affirmation when you to create that? What is your affirmation?
Okay, great question. Universe, I'm asking for a perfect parking space that's going to support me. It's going to be close by. It's going to be in the right area. However, if somebody needs it more than me, please give it to them. That's all I say.
That's very kind. That's very kind. Well, if we don't ask, we don't get. So you have to ask. And so that's a great one. I have a little poem prayer that when people lose things, and you could use it for manifesting in a parking place, but it's like, Mother Mary, full of grace, help me find that parking place. Or Mother Mary, full of grace, help me find my key bob place, or my cell phone place, or whatever. But Mother is always very kind, and she seems to come through for you.
Interesting that you say that. So I would share that my mom, I'm not talking about, I don't go deep into religion here, but
Right.
she would pray to Saint Anthony. And I have done it before when I'm looking for the keys or whatever it might be. And also, interestingly, you said Mother Mary, full of grace. My mom's name was Rose Mary. I find it kind of weird. But saying that prayer, or whatever you want to call it, what is a prayer anyway? It's sending a message out into the universe, right?
That's right. That's right. And with gratitude. So key thing is with gratitude. And kind thing is you offering it up to someone that needs it greater than you. So somebody in a wheelchair or something, you never know. So there's those that aren't as capable as we are, say, in walking or standing, like you mentioned earlier. So um, anyway,
Hmm.
that's very
Hmm.
thoughtful of you on that part. But,
Well, well, thank you
but
for saying that. It's just, I just don't want to be the person taking a space when there's somebody that truly, truly needs it. But you bring up I think a key point here in manifesting your future or the things that you feel you deserve. Not, I want this and I want that. No, that you deserve should be coming your way. The gratitude part. I
the
I
gra-
I think we forget that.
yeah, the gratitude is a key thing, and one thing I teach people if they come in over and over about, oh, I'm so depressed, and they may have a right to be because they may have gone through a lot of traumatic things or illness or been in the hospital, and they're going through a depressed state. I always say, think of the things you're grateful for. Even if you write down or think of three things every night before you go to bed that you're grateful for. And it can be just, I have a roof over my head. Actually have food to eat. I have clothes to wear. I mean, it can be very simple. You don't have to be exorbitant about it, but just even stay with the simple things. And if you watch the news, you start seeing what's going on around the world, and you can tell we're very fortunate that we have food to eat and a roof over our head and clothes and things that we have,
Mm.
um, and the freedom that we have. So, yeah, we have a lot to be grateful for. So, in that gratitude, that helps transform those neurochemicals in our brain to
Mm.
manifest. So, on a subconscious level, our autonomic nervous system, through our thoughts, intentions, and expectations, we can do resets on those neurochemicals and actually help guide our brain to manifest what we need in our life. And so we have the dopamine system. And one thing that happens to say a lot of these guys, vets that come back from war, they throw antidepressants at them. They
Mm.
throw different drugs at them. They might get them overloaded with so many drugs that they'll commit suicide or something, or they feel like nobody's really listening to me. They just throw another drug at me. And then those different drugs actually shut down your dopamine system, and that's your
Mm.
feel good system. It's your dopamine helps you feel your self worth and releases that shame, guilt, or trauma.
I never knew that. Wow.
Yeah, so as we put our mind to work and using our mind in a creative, positive way, and like you were saying earlier about writing things down, if you write things down and you read them, you hear them, you're seeing them, you use different senses, then you empower that activity or what you're wanting. And so through nursing school, that's a lot of times what I do. I'd make notes, record things on a cassette, listen to them while I'm going to sleep, listen to them while I'm getting ready the next morning. So I'm seeing it, hearing it, use different senses to help create it. So writing things down is very powerful.
Wow. I'm on your page with that, pun intended. When it comes to writing things down, I keep a gratitude journal, and from time to time, I journal. I haven't done it recently, and just I don't know why. I try to dissect why, but you just gave more fuel for writing it down, journaling, whatever you want to call it.
Well, that's
It seems to me that when you do write it down, you're making it real. Now
yes.
it's not just a thought. It's something that just Because what do we want? We want something tangible. I can't see it. I can't taste it. I can't smell it. I can't feel it. Does it really exist? It does when you write it down.
That's right.
Mm.
That's right.
Ooh.
And even so through this process, and what I'm wanting to do is an interactive process, and it's also known as neurolinguistic programming,
Sure.
NLP, or emotional freedom release. So EF, I guess emotional freedom release. The acronym for that would be ELR. Anyway, EFR, I guess.
EFR. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And I've heard of
Okay.
those. I've heard of those.
Have you?
Yeah, absolutely. NLP. Even in small ways, they use that in marketing and advertising to catch your attention. For example, you might have heard like a car commercial or a commercial that says, "Don't buy a car," until you go to the ABC car lot. Right away, your brain focuses on the negative. So now you're telling somebody, "Don't buy a car. Don't buy a car," and then you give them a reason to buy a car because you're going to go because they have the greatest rates. Da, da, da. Just little forms of that connecting with our brain, basically playing to the way the brain thinks within the language it hears and the language that we say. That's my interpretation of NLP. I don't know if that's accurate.
Well, that's a good point because a lot of times I will, you know, experience something. I go, that's just a marketing thing. They're just tricking us into this, or
There's big
So
dollars involved, and
yeah.
it's been studied, researched, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Um, how can we ensure that we're manifesting properly? Let's say, you think you're doing it right, but the things that you're manifesting not really showing up. It's bigger stuff than a space in a crowded town. How can we make sure that we're doing it right?
Well, we need tools. We need a tool bag. So I'm going to
Hmm.
incorporate some acupuncture points with this process, with this system, and teach how we can work with this.
Hmm.
Now, I have patients come in that may be of veterans or paramedics that have been over in war and have been traumatized. It may be uh, family stuff where there might be violence in the family. It could be somebody that's just getting bullied at work,
Hmm.
or you can just have an incident with a neighbor that you've been friends with and you can't believe that they're treated you this way, and you feel um, you might feel anger or different emotions. And so there's a lot more, it seems like, negative emotions than positive. And so we really have to focus on the positive. So this is where you can have an incident and go right into this process and maybe release that anger towards that person within 10 minutes. Then it could be so intense because it might have cost you some money. They might have gotten you in trouble. There may be more to it, and it's deeper, and it may take a year. And then the whole thing is transformed. And not only you are transformed, but the other person is transformed. So it kind of even connects with the other person or situation that you're having the negative emotion about. So that's kind of interesting how it can be paralleled to the other person. So seeing other people transform because you're trying to transform to improve the relationship is pretty cool.
I've often heard that you need to make space. What do I mean by that? So let's say you want to manifest the person of your dreams, but you're in a relationship now, not the best, but you're hanging on to it. Don't want to be lonely, whatever it might be. I've heard that, and I'm just giving an example here, but you're not going to get what you want because there's no space for that person because you're with somebody and you got focus on that. What are your thoughts there?
Well, I can. Do you want me to tell you a comedian, Jeff Foxworthy? He said, "Okay, when your mate tells you that they want space, and that means without you in it, that probably means that your wife has already picked a pony out of the herd, and if she hasn't ridden it yet, she's got the saddle out."
Hmm.
I thought that was funny,
It's just kind of
but
funny. Uh,
but I've had a couple of people recently telling me that they had that happen where the wife is saying, "Hey, I need space. You can have another relationship if you want." And this Oriental lady that does therapy says she got boyfriend. She has boyfriend. And so, I thought I heard that Jeff Foxworthy comedian, and I thought, yeah, I think that's what she's thinking. But anyway, I want to, before we run out of time, I want to explain this technique so people have a tool,
Please.
and then we can expand on having some fun with it. But
We need tools to get this done. I'm totally on. Uh, even you mentioned acupuncture. I don't know if we're going there, but I've
we
never
are
even heard that that
okay.
can open up the door.
Okay, so of course I can do acupuncture treatments for depression, for say getting off of addictions, different things like this. But we're going to go back to this NLP technique so we can have a tool bag. Now, the points are called windows to heaven, and they sync up mental, emotional, spiritual, physical. So the windows to heaven, and there's probably more than I'm going to show you, but I'm going to keep it simple. But it's above the eye, side of the eye, underneath the eye, and right here at the sternum. Now, they call it a thump or tapping. Now,
Oh,
the thymus is right here. And the thymus, if you don't remember anything else, or say you're driving and you don't want your hands around your face, you can just tap right here at your sternum where the collarbones come together. And as the thymus actually shrinks as we get older. So if we tap on it, we kind of keep it activated. So it also activates our immune system. So, and I've also seen uh, some things online where the Chinese will do tapping on their body in different ways, and they claim it helps rejuvenation and helps with uh, not aging. So, but anyway, going back to this tapping of the thymus, this is an easy point to remember. If you're driving, you can always do it with one hand. And one thing, say if you're in a group of people and something happens, or you're having, um, sometimes people that have trauma, they might have a post traumatic stress come to them. And what you can do is always go into the bathroom where you're private. So you're not doing something like this in front of everybody. But the there's also three meridians that come down the arm and three meridians that go under the arm. And so there's part of this is squeezing the arm. So you're activating six meridians and you're saying to yourself, peace, 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 peace. So, do you want to do this with me where
yeah,
we,
absolutely.
okay.
And I've heard of this, especially tapping. And yeah, there's so many different places that you can tap. Let's do it. Whatever we're gonna do.
Okay. So just know that we're just wanting to release any trauma, any emotional episode, and that we are wanting to. So I'm going to just go over basic emotions that. So think of the brain like a computer. We want to delete the old programs and we want to put in the new program. So say we're going through different things, and no matter what, we want to delete anything negative that is going to block us from moving forward in our life and creating the best we can have. And then we want to bring in the best. So whatever you think about and talk about long enough comes about. So if you're always complaining and you're always um, on the negative, you're going to create that. So you want to always stay on the positive. So that's why when we greeted each other, I said, fantastic. You said, great. So we're thinking positive. So, okay, so here we go. We're going to start deleting anything negative, and I'm just going to go down a basic list, and we'll do this tapping and give people an idea of a tool. So
Sure.
Here we go. Now, I usually, if somebody comes in and they're upset or they relate to me, they're going through something or they have gone through something, and I've even had people crying, whatever. I always tell them from 1 to 10, 10 being the worst, make it a 10. Put that image in your mind of the worst situation, the worst scenario that you're going through. And I'll get them to do it.
Would that be the worst scenario of the situation or just a bad?
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. So they have an issue and just go, okay, make it a 10, whatever, because there could be several incidences that that they've gone through. But what's the worst, the one that's really the one that stands out the most that you can make it a 10. And then as we go down through the process, I'll go, okay, where are you at now? Now, if they say I'm still at a 7, I go through all this again. If they say they're at 5, I go through it again. I try to get it as close to 0 as possible. Some people just are able to wipe it out real clear, and it's just like white coming across in their mind. It's just like a cloud that comes across, and it's just all clear. Once they get to that point where they're feeling better, then we go in and start bringing in the positive. Okay, so here we go. So I'm going to start tapping, and I'm just going to do bilateral like I would at, in a session. So I'm releasing and letting go of boredom. I'm releasing and letting go of pessimism. I'm releasing and letting go of frustration. I'm releasing and letting go. I'm releasing and letting go. And then peace, 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 peace. I'm releasing and letting go of irritation. I'm releasing and letting go of impatience. I'm releasing and letting go of being overwhelmed. I'm letting go. I'm letting go. Peace, peace, peace. Peace, peace, peace. I'm releasing and letting go of disappointment. I'm releasing and letting go of doubt. I'm releasing and letting go of worry. I'm releasing and letting go. I'm releasing and letting go. Peace, peace, peace. Peace, peace, peace. I'm releasing and letting go of blame. I'm releasing and letting go of discouragement. I'm releasing and letting go of anger. I'm releasing and letting all this go. I'm releasing and letting this go. Peace, peace, peace. Peace, peace, peace. I'm releasing and letting go of revenge. I'm releasing and letting go of hatred. I'm releasing and letting go of rage. I'm releasing and letting go. I'm releasing and letting go. Peace, peace, peace.
We're just about out of time. Could keep
Okay,
going with this.
So
quick questions. Quick questions.
Okay.
The things that you said, the rage, frustration, boredom, whatever they may be, were you just thinking of those? Well, would we, if we're in a situation, think of those words that we want to release? Let's say anger, let's say jealousy, let's say whatever it is. Those are the words that you use.
Okay, so and then I want to finish with some positive. But what I do is I say, call out any emotion or anything that you want to let go of. If something comes to you, call it out. If it's something different than I'm saying, I want you to call it out. And a lot of times people will. And sometimes people can't put their finger on it. So they just go with it. But I want to end with I'm bringing in joy, empowerment, love, encouragement, hopefulness. And then I always like to end with I look great, I act great, I feel great, I am great, and you're great.
Wow. How many times for releasing and letting go, how many times should you do that exercise? Like we did probably 4 or 5 of them. Sequences.
Oh, okay. So it, like I said, it can take 10 minutes and you are completely clear. And say it's an incident at work, you step out outside, you go to the bathroom, whatever, you can get completely clear of an incident that happened with a coworker, and you may come back in peace and then move on and there's no issues. Or it could be something that's deeper than that, that you may have to do every day to even go to sleep at night because it's bothering you to sleep. And it may take a while. So it just depends how deep it is, intense it is, and you just have to go with it.
And then I got so many questions and we don't have no more time. The positive sequence, is it the same? You can do multiple, it's not just.
Oh yeah, because you've got enthusiasm, eagerness, happiness.
Gotcha,
you want to bring everything positive in that you can,
Teresa,
and then be content.
That was wonderful. I've heard of tapping. These things can get a little complicated if we don't understand them. You made that so understandable. Like that is like etched in my mind of, the tapping points, the meridians, the piece. Never heard that before. Super cool. This is just a piece of what you offer at Path to Wellness. What's the website there?
It's tulsapath.com, or you can find us Path to Wellness, Tulsa, because there's other Path to Wellnesses in other cities. But anyway.
Yeah, but they're not your path, and yours is amazing. So is your energy. Thank you so much for today. Wonderful talking with you. Like I will be doing that later. I'm trusting. Trust me, I will. Because I even feel better now in those last couple of minutes of just letting go, like releasing, just clearing the energy.
Awesome. And then don't forget the gratitude.
And the gratitude, right?
Be thankful.
And I am for you. Thanks for being here today.
This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.